What's up, guys? It's me. I should probably write down the jokes before I turn on the camera. 24. And today I'm going to talk to you guys about how do you pick a deck that you like to play in formats. Because it is very, very confusing, and there's a lot that goes into it that I don't think we discuss as like a culture. So I would love to talk about it with you guys and just my mind process through it. So if you're excited to see that, you really see that, you click that like button so that way you help us get back in the algorithm. Also comment down below your thoughts and let me know what you do that helps you pick out decks during a format. And also subscribe to the channel if you're new. Click that bell for notifications if you're old. That way you're always updated once we upload videos to this channel. Now, once again, I don't have a script, so I'm just freestyling off the top of the dome. Now, you guys know, for those of you who don't know, I told myself I'm going to play Salamangreats because I wanted to show deck replays for the video. But I ran into a lot of problems. I'm playing against people. They keep quitting. Anytime they see me play a card, it makes it very frustrating for me to even learn the fucking deck. So now I got to look up combos and read cards and do math. It's stupid to me. It's like that's way too much work to put in a deck that I'm not that interested in, especially since Salamangreat is an anime deck. And with anime decks, it's based on the character. So if you like the character, you're a little bit more connected to the deck, that person's story, you relate to it. So sometimes people pick decks based off of animes. So that's how I feel with Salamangreats, but I don't watch the anime. I don't know the character. I'm not connected to this deck no matter how popular it is right now, no matter how crazy it's doing. If I'm not connected to this deck somehow, some way, if I don't like the archetype, if I don't like the playstyle, if I don't like the character, if I don't like the monster designs, if I don't like the artwork, I don't care if I win with it. I don't want to play it. That's just me personally, how I pick decks. And I guess this is just me sounding like an old angry fogey who's been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Since day one, 2001. It's like, I guess because there was less to pick, it made it a lot simpler to pick the cards you wanted to play. Nowadays, the game is flooded with decks. And unlike maybe 3-5 years ago, where you normally had 3 to 4 decks that just ran Yu-Gi-Oh! You'd always have like your Dragon Rulers, you'd always have Insectors, you would have Wind-Ups. I remember when Mermills and Atlanteans were going crazy. Dad, Teledad, like you always had formats that just had 2 to 3 decks that ran shit. Right now in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is pretty fair. Especially, maybe, I would say within the past recent years since Zodiac got banned, Yu-Gi-Oh's been pretty okay when it comes to formats where you have a lot of different decks that you can play in a format, and you'll most likely be okay based on your skill level. So now it's almost like the options of decks you can play is so much more. It's a bit confusing. So when you pick a deck that you want to play, are you playing from competitive standpoint where you're like, yo, I want to pick a competitive deck? Like, are you looking just to get wins? Like, I'm gonna just learn the best deck right now that has the favorite type of monster. Like, is that a factor that you put into it? Like, oh, I love Dragon Monsters. I hate Dragon Monsters. So if you play Dragon, I don't like you. If you like Dragon Monsters, I don't like you. Especially play Guard Dragon. Ooh, I'm gonna show a Guard Dragon replay, but I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. I don't like dragons. If you do, fuck you. But I don't like dragons, but let's say I like heroes. I like elemental heroes. So let's say they had a deck that had elemental heroes and they were topping. Ooh, I'm going to pick that deck, or any deck that had like warrior monsters. Like, I like warriors. So if a deck that's topping has warrior monsters, I'm more prone to go check out that deck if I'm not familiar with it at that point. So like, is that something that I like to factor into? Is there also like maybe you say characters, you have archetypes, you have types of monsters, you like winning, do you like also play style? Playstyle is another big thing when it comes to picking a deck when you want to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Because a lot of people, like Kisame said in another video, he likes to just dump his hand on the field. He doesn't like cards that negate. He likes to just be able to make his moves, combo off of cards, and he wants to go up against his opponent's strategy. He does not like cards that have restrictions that tell your opponent they can't do this, they can't do that. He doesn't like negating. He rather, instead of me saying, hey, I'm going to activate lose one turn, so now you can't summon your monsters, they lose their effect. I'd rather do something like a Mirror Force, so that way when you summon your field and you attack me, I blow it up, versus me telling you you can't play your cards. I'd rather you play your cards so that you can go up against my cards. there's play styles like that. Me, do you like to summon a certain way? Like, do you want to special, like to fusion summon? Some people like synchro. A lot of people like XYZs. There's players who still pendulum summon for some reason. But people love those type of decks. Like, is that something that you factor in when you're picking a deck that you want to play, or when you're looking at a new deck that you want to maybe play in an upcoming format? Like, me personally, I don't mind link summoning. Link summoning is cool to me. I like what Master Rule 4 kind of did for Yu-Gi-Oh! Where it kind of, I don't want to say it slowed it down. Some people say it slowed it down, but I don't think it slowed it down. It just made every single thing you do that much more important. And that means a lot to me, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Is more of a mental game, and everything you do matters. Unlike maybe older formats where you can afford to lose a card here and there, or sometimes, you know, card effects are just so simple and basic, you know, you can just work your way around it. If you didn't play it in the proper order, you just figure you get it eventually. But now everything is so, like, card text is so specific that everything you do matters. So when you want to do link summoning, or would you rather just, hey, let me get my one XYZ monster off, I don't want to do nothing else after that, this is where I'm going with it, and that's all I want to play with? Or a lot of people like fusion summoning, so you're more prone to play decks like Elemental Heroes, Destiny Heroes, maybe Luna Lights, you want to play decks like those. There's decks like Burning Abyss who have a little bit of everything, but they more likely go to the XYZ route. You might want to play ritual monsters like Necros, or Incantations. You want to play decks like those that really get those ritual monsters out. Like, there's so many different factors that come into play when you want to pick a deck to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And for me personally, like, my favorite decks are kind of like they're super old school, but they're so, how can I say, like, just they're not run-of-the-mill type of decks. They're out of the ordinary. Like, I like Shaddolls, but I also like Sky Strikers. I love Celtic Guardian and Elemental Heroes. But I'm still feeling the Insecta monsters. Like, that's an old school deck that is pretty consistent to me, the way I have them playing. I like to use that, but I also like to have a hint of creativity. So for me personally, I like to look at the meta, look at what they're doing and how they're playing, and then I'll take cards that I like, or maybe an archetype or a type of monster that I like, and I try to incorporate that and mix it in with the meta, or in a way that's not throwing it too much off, where it's not too, it can, like, I want to teeter on the line of both competitive and, you know, playing for fun, but at the same time I want to make the best version of that deck that I can, so I can be as competitive as possible. Because to me, in competitive play, especially nowadays with all the different decks that you can play, every move you make matters. So if you're really good with your deck, you can take a deck and win. Like, there was a YCS where the Orchrist monsters just won, and that was like, nobody would have probably saw that coming. You'd think it'd be Sky Strikers, or you think it'd be Salamangreat, the deck that I'm playing. I'm stupid, but you would think that. But somebody who's really good with their deck and they know their matchups and they know how to play against decks, that matters. Experience matters. So I just named a bunch of different factors. I told you guys what I like to pick in there. I like to fusion summon. I like to mix things up. I like variety. I like options. I don't like decks that play one way. They do one move only. They jump on the field. They go to one move. The end. I'm not done with you. Like, honestly, that's what's kind of turning me off from playing Crusaders, because I like Crusaders, but it just feels like every time I play the deck, I'm doing one move only. Every time, just boom, you just play the same way. It only plays one way and one way only. It can't, like, I'm playing one way, you throw a disruption in there, and I gotta figure it out. No, you throw a disruption in there, it's game over, buddy. It's over. Pack your shit. It's out of here. You're leaving. Pack your Spider-Man pops. It's over for you, buddy. Just get out of here. So I think I rambled on long enough. I thought this would be a short video, but apparently I had much more to say in my head than I thought I did. So yeah, with that being said, like the video, comment down below your thoughts and all the things that you do when you want to pick a deck and all the things that play factors into it. Discord server, link is down below. Shout out Kareem for everything you're doing on the Discord server. I'm going to message you back and see what's going on with that. My podcast link is in the description. Listen to that audio. We talk about non-Yu-Gi-Oh stuff there. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye. I always wanted to do that. I'm corny, guys. Please don't unsubscribe.